Good morning/afternoon, everyone. Imagine standing on a bridge, halfway across. You neither commit to moving forward nor return to where you started. You linger in limbo, unsure of where you belong. This is what it's like to love half-lovers, those who stand with you only partially, who give you a fraction of their heart, their time, and their truth. Half-lovers are not just people. They are the ideas and relationships we settle for. They are the good enough that never becomes great. And when we allow these half measures into our lives, we compromise something vital, our worth. Half-hearted relationships are like a book with missing pages. You might grasp the general storyline, but the depth, the nuance, and the true meaning are lost. At first glance, they may seem harmless or even comforting. After all, something is better than nothing, right? But if we look closer, we realize that half-hearted relationships come with a significant cost, a cost we often fail to see until it's too late. The first cost is emotional exhaustion. When we invest in relationships where the commitment is one-sided or incomplete, we find ourselves constantly trying to compensate for the other person's lack of effort. We overextend ourselves, giving more time, energy, and love than we receive in return. Over time, this imbalance leaves us drained. It's like pouring water into a cup with a crack. No matter how much you give, it's never enough to fill. Next, half-hearted relationships erode self-worth. When someone loves us halfway, it's easy to internalize their lack of commitment as a reflection of our value. We start to believe that we're not worthy of full attention, affection, or respect. This narrative, whether spoken or unspoken, can chip away at our confidence and self-esteem. The longer we stay, the more we begin to settle for less, forgetting what we truly deserve. Then there's the cost of missed opportunities. While we're caught up in half-hearted relationships, we close ourselves off from the possibility of experiencing something better. We occupy space in our lives and in our hearts with people who aren't willing to meet us fully. And in doing so, we miss out on connections that could bring us the depth, joy, and fulfillment we crave. Half-hearted relationships also create emotional confusion. When someone is inconsistent, when their words say, "I care," but their actions say otherwise, we're left in a constant state of uncertainty. This inconsistency fosters doubt and insecurity, making us question their intentions and, worse, our own instincts. Instead of building trust, these relationships keep us on edge, never fully secure, never truly at peace. The biggest cost of all is stagnation. Relationships are meant to inspire growth. When two people commit fully to one another, they challenge and support each other to evolve. But in half-hearted relationships, there's no real foundation for growth. Instead, we remain stuck, repeating the same patterns, rehashing the same arguments, and circling back to the same disappointments. It's a cycle that prevents us from reaching our potential, both individually and together. The truth is, half-hearted relationships don't just hurt us, they rob us. They rob us of the chance to experience the fullness of love and connection. They steal our time, our energy, and most painfully, our belief in what's possible. So what do? We must recognize the cost of half-hearted relationships and have the courage to walk away. We must prioritize relationships that are mutual, wholehearted, and rooted in respect and love. Because the alternative, settling for less, will never lead to the life we truly deserve. Authenticity is one of the most powerful forces in human connection. It is the foundation upon which trust, respect, and meaningful relationships are built. Yet in a world where appearances often take precedence over substance, where perfection is prized over honesty, and where vulnerability is seen as a weakness, authenticity can feel elusive, but its value, especially in relationships, cannot be overstated. To understand the value of authenticity, we must first recognize what it truly means. Authenticity is about being unapologetically yourself. It's the courage to show up as you are, flaws, fears, and all, and to engage with others from a place of truth. It's not about being perfect, it's about being real. And in relationships, this is where the magic happens. The first and perhaps most profound value of authenticity is that it creates trust. When someone is authentic, their words align with their actions and their intentions are clear. This consistency fosters a sense of safety, allowing others to let down their guard. Inauthenticity, on the other hand, breeds doubt. When we sense that someone is hiding behind a mask or withholding their true feelings, it becomes difficult to rely on them. Authenticity eliminates this barrier, making trust not just possible, but natural. Authenticity also fosters deeper connections. When we are honest about who we are, our joys, our struggles, our aspirations, we invite others to do the same. This vulnerability creates a bond that superficial interactions cannot replicate. Relationships rooted in authenticity go beyond surface level pleasantries. They allow us to truly see and be seen. And when we feel truly seen, we feel truly valued. Another crucial value of authenticity is its ability to inspire growth. Being authentic means acknowledging our imperfections and being open to feedback. In a relationship, this humility allows both parties to learn from each other and grow together. It also means having the courage to challenge one another when necessary, knowing that honesty, even when uncomfortable, is an act of love. Inauthentic relationships where truths are hidden or glossed over stagnate because they lack the honesty required for mutual evolution. Authenticity also serves as a filter. When we show up as our true selves, we naturally attract people who resonate with who we are and repel those who don't. This is a gift. It means that the relationships we cultivate are built on genuine compatibility, not pretense. It also means that we don't waste time or energy trying to maintain relationships that are fundamentally misaligned. One of the most overlooked values of authenticity is the freedom it brings. Pretending to be someone you're not is exhausting. It requires constant vigilance, monitoring your words, your actions, and your appearance to ensure they align with the image you're trying to project. Authenticity frees us from this burden. When we embrace who we are, we stop worrying about what others think and start focusing on what truly matters. This freedom is not only liberating for us, but also refreshing for those around us. In a world where many feel the pressure to conform, authenticity is also a source of courage and inspiration. When we see someone living authentically, unapologetically about their quirks, bold in their truths, it reminds us that we too have the right to be ourselves. Authenticity is contagious. It creates a ripple effect, encouraging others to shed their masks and embrace their own truths. However, authenticity does require courage. It's not always easy to be honest about who we are, especially in a society that often celebrates conformity. It requires vulnerability, the willingness to risk rejection or judgment in exchange for genuine connection. But this courage pays off. Authentic relationships may take more effort to cultivate, but they are infinitely more rewarding. The value of authenticity in relationships is immeasurable. It creates trust, fosters deep connection, inspires growth, and liberates us from the need to pretend. Most importantly, it affirms that we are enough, just as we are. When we choose authenticity, we choose relationships that are real, fulfilling, and transformative. We choose to live a life that aligns with our values, our passions, and our truth. And that is a choice worth making every single time. And no, please don't smash me. If anything, please reach out to me and let me know how you are making a difference in the lives of those around you. Letting go is often portrayed as an act of surrender or loss. We associate it with endings, farewells, and the painful release of something cherished. Yet beneath the surface of this perceived loss lies a profound act of courage, a willingness to embrace change, to prioritize our well-being, and to open ourselves to new possibilities. At its core, the courage to let go is about self-respect. It's recognizing when a situation or relationship no longer serves our highest good and having the strength to walk away. This act of self-respect honors our values, our boundaries, and our worth. It acknowledges that our happiness and fulfillment are non-negotiable, even if it means stepping into the discomfort of uncertainty. Moreover, the courage to let go is a testament to growth. Life is a journey of constant evolution, and holding on to what no longer aligns with our path can hinder our progress. By releasing attachments to the past, whether it's outdated beliefs, toxic relationships, or unfulfilling circumstances, we create space for new experiences and opportunities to enter our lives. This growth requires courage because it demands that we confront our fears of the unknown and trust in our ability to navigate change. Letting go also requires forgiveness, not just of others, but of ourselves. It's recognizing that clinging to resentment or regret only prolongs our suffering. Forgiveness is a radical act of compassion, allowing us to release the emotional weight that anchors us to the past. It liberates us from the cycle of blame and allows us to reclaim our energy for more constructive purposes. Forgiveness, additionally, the courage to let go is about trusting the process. It's understanding that endings are often beginnings in disguise. Just as autumn leaves must fall to make way for new growth in spring, so too must we release what no longer serves us to make room for what does. Trusting the process means embracing uncertainty with an open heart, knowing that every ending paves the way for a new chapter of growth, learning, and discovery. Furthermore, letting go is an act of self-compassion. It's recognizing our own limits and honoring our need for peace and healing. Sometimes holding on is driven by a sense of duty or obligation, even when it comes at the expense of our well-being. Self-compassion allows us to prioritize self-care, setting boundaries that protect our emotional and mental health. It's about nurturing ourselves with the same kindness and understanding we would offer to a loved one facing a similar situation. The courage to let go also involves embracing impermanence. Life is inherently transient, and holding tightly to what is fleeting only causes suffering. This doesn't mean dismissing the value of cherished memories or experiences. Instead, it's about appreciating them fully in the present moment and gracefully allowing them to evolve or fade when the time comes. Love is often romanticized as a spontaneous, uncontrollable force that sweeps us off our feet. While passion and serendipity have their place, the most enduring and fulfilling love stems not from chance, but from intention. Living with purpose in love means approaching our relationships, whether romantic, familial, or platonic, with clarity, commitment, and a sense of responsibility to ourselves and others. It's a conscious choice to build connections that are meaningful, empowering, and rooted in shared values. At its core, living with purpose and love begins with self-awareness. To love with purpose, we must first understand who we are, what we value, and what we need from our relationships. This requires honest introspection and a willingness to confront our fears, insecurities, and patterns. When we take the time to know ourselves deeply, we can enter relationships with a clear sense of what we bring to the table and what we hope to receive in return. Living with purpose and love also requires us to align our actions with our intentions. Love is not just a feeling, it is an active, ongoing practice. It's expressed through the choices we make every day, how we show up for our partners, how we communicate, and how we navigate challenges. Loving with purpose means being intentional about our words and deeds, ensuring they reflect the depth of our care and commitment. It's about prioritizing our relationships even when life gets busy and making the effort to nurture them consistently. One of the most transformative aspects of living with purpose and love is the ability to love selflessly without losing oneself. Purposeful love balances the needs of both individuals in the relationship. It's about giving generously, but not at the expense of our own identity or well-being. When we love with purpose, we understand that healthy relationships are built on mutual respect, support, and shared growth. This balance allows love to flourish without becoming a source of resentment or imbalance. Purposeful love also involves setting and respecting boundaries. Too often, love is viewed as limitless, with no room for individuality or personal space. However, boundaries are essential for maintaining healthy, thriving relationships. They create a framework of respect and understanding, allowing both parties to feel safe and valued. Living with purpose in love means having the courage to communicate our boundaries clearly and honoring those of our loved ones. It is a testament to the strength of our love that we respect each other's autonomy while still nurturing a deep connection. Another key element of living with purpose in love is the commitment to growth and evolution. Love is not static. It changes and matures over time. Purposeful love embraces this evolution, understanding that growth is both inevitable and essential. Whether it's learning from past mistakes, navigating new life stages together, or pursuing individual goals, living with purpose in love means supporting one another's journeys while continuing to strengthen the relationship. It's a recognition that love is not about perfection, but about progress. Purposeful love is also deeply rooted in gratitude and appreciation. It's easy to take our relationships for granted, especially when life becomes routine. Living with purpose and love requires us to actively cultivate gratitude for our partners and the moments we share. This could be as simple as expressing thanks for a small gesture or taking the time to acknowledge the ways our loved ones enrich our lives. Gratitude deepens connection and reminds us of the value of the love we share. In the tapestry of life, our relationships are the threads that weave meaning, joy, and growth into our existence. Yet the quality of those connections depends not on luck or chance, but on the choices we make. Choosing not to love half-lovers, embracing authenticity, having the courage to let go, and living with purpose and love are not merely ideals, they are necessities for building a life that is rich, fulfilling, and aligned with our deepest truths. Half-hearted relationships and inauthentic connections drain us, keeping us tethered to mediocrity and leaving our hearts half-filled. But when we choose to demand more from our relationships, when we prioritize depth over convenience, truth over pretense, and intention over passivity, we unlock the profound beauty of genuine connection. Letting go of what no longer serves us takes bravery, but it is in that release that we find freedom. And living with purpose and love is not just about how we relate to others. It's about how we honor ourselves. It's about showing up every day with clarity, courage, and the commitment to build relationships that reflect the best of who we are. So I leave you with this. Love is not an accident. It is a choice to live fully, to love deeply, and to demand nothing less than the extraordinary. May we all have the courage to walk away from half-heartedness, the wisdom to embrace authenticity, the strength to let go, and the intention to live with purpose in love. Because when we do, we don't just change our relationships, we transform our lives.